Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing an in the bag for my 2026 tournament bag. Alright, so I want to give a disclaimer. I actually have 4 bags, not that I use in tournaments, but 4 bags that I regularly rotate between. I'm a little bit weird when it comes to making bags. Um, I used to mix brands, and I found that I enjoy actually keeping one brand per bag. So I'll probably put the bags up on screen that I also have, but for this video, we're gonna be specifically talking about what I'm playing tournaments with. All right. Before we start, I just want to give a quick disclaimer and apology. Right now I'm in my apartment recording this. It has been freezing cold outside. And if it hasn't been freezing, it's been pouring down rain over the past week. So I actually haven't been able to go out and play around this week. So I do apologize for there not being an out and playing a video, anything of course reviews or anything like that. I plan to start that back up next week whenever the weather's a little bit better. But right now we've kind of gone through a cold snap. It was literally like 3 degrees here this past weekend. So um, with that being said, before we get started with the putters, I did want to shout out Coppock Customs 3D Printing. They make minis and a few other products, and most notably, they make custom tournament trophies. So, my friend Trace Coppock over at Coppock Customs, go check him out. He makes good stuff. And if you need anything for tournaments, if there's a TD watching, if you need anything for tournaments, go check him out. So I'm just going to get straight into it with the putting putters. I'm putting with the Discraft Jawbreaker Roaches. I am actually not a big fan of beaded putters. I have really small hands, and I also do not putt like really hard. I like floaty putts with a little bit of spin on them. So having no bead and having shallower putters is actually a little bit more my putting style. So these are very straight, pretty beat in, but not super beat in, and I've loved them. Next up, we have one of my throwing putters now. This is also a Roach. It is the 2023 Ledgestone Edition Roach. My friend actually dyed it as an American flag, and I absolutely love it. It's pretty much just a point and shoot, straight putter. If I throw it on forehand, it'll get a little bit of turn out of it. If I'm trying to throw a little turnover shot, backhand, it's almost dead straight for me. So I love this disc. Next up, this is the only beaded putter I have in this bag. It is the Challenger OS. It is a very overstable. I love throwing this thing backhand. Zones to me, which you'll see in a minute. Zones to me are very, very, very friendly to my forehand. I absolutely love throwing zones forehand. I'll throw them backhand sometimes, but not a ton. But the Challenger OS is, if I'm throwing a backhand overstable putter shot, this is the disc that I pick up. Moving down to the like kind of the throwing putters, I guess. We just talked about a couple, but those are a little bit shorter. First up, we have the Ringer. This disc I like a lot, but it kind of is in a weird spot of instabilities for me because it's straighter than a zone, shallower than the Challenger OS, and a little bit more overstable than the Roach. So it's kind of like it's a hybrid between all of those. Actually, it's very specific shots. I don't take it out a lot, but when I do, I absolutely love it. I can kind of throw a little forehand turnover with it that might flex out just a little bit. It's something that I need to hold a line a little bit more than what I'm about to talk about next, which are my zones. This zone here is just a regular stock zone. It's ESP plastic, which beats in a little bit faster than the Z plastic, titanium plastic. This disc is my workhorse zone. It is beat really bad, and it'll turn a little bit out of the hand, but then come back with a consistent fade of a zone. It's a phenomenal disc, and I believe this is one of my most thrown discs in my bag. Next up, this is probably my favorite disc in the bag. It is the Test Flight zones from the Zone Battle Packs. It is the ringer top zone with a tiny little groove top, but not the. I'm not a big fan of the Banger GT top with the weird little kind of loop ditch thing in the top. It's just super deep for me. I know it's fun and I know it's friendly for backhands, but I think this is more true to a zone more than the other one. Just is kind of more of a fun disc. But I have a couple of these that I saved from the battle packs, just in case I lose this one. But this one is beat to perfection. It is dead straight, pushing for a while, and then just has that consistent fade out to the side. I absolutely love it, and this is my most thrown disc in the bag. These two zones are absolute workhorses for me, and they have noticeable difference in flight, but they are both beat into where I absolutely love them. All right, and then the fun disc in the bag. This is Zone OS First Run. For those of you who have thrown Zone OSs, I mean, you know they are perfect for going about 200, 250 feet and then just stopping. These numbers are crazy. 4215. I'm not like huge on flight numbers when it comes to determining a disc flight, but like I think these flight numbers are extremely accurate. It's no glide, tons of fade, no chance of turning. If you throw this thing flat, it's going to immediately hyzer out. If you throw this thing on anhyzer, it will flex immediately back. It's the most predictable disc in my bag. So I highly recommend this disc for anyone who likes throwing forehand especially. I would never throw that backhand, but I also don't have the backhand for that. Moving on to my mid-ranges. I have 4 in the bag. They're all different, but they all have a purpose for them being in the bag, and they're all blue. First off, we have the Meteor. This is a very understable mid-range. Again, with me being mostly forehand, if I ever need to get out of a weird situation, throw a high holding line, anhyzer shot. I can throw this thing far on backhand because it's friendly to. It's a very beginner friendly disc. And I have an intermediate backhand. It's not great, but it's passable. But if I just put this thing a little bit nose down, a little bit hyzer, it'll ride, pop up, and even turn just a little bit. It's a beautifully flying disc. I highly recommend it to anyone, especially those who are just starting out. This is just, again, friendly for me, and I also like throwing this thing on some rollers if needed. Not too often. I have a couple of discs in here that are big roller discs for me, but if I need to, this one's it for it. This is the Ledgestone 2022 stamp with a dinosaur on it, and I absolutely love it. Next disc we have in the lineup, you know it, you love it. It's the Buzz. I have a Ledgestone Buzz. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I'll have pictures of it up. This disc flies wonderfully. Everyone knows the Buzz. It's straight, has decent glide, but isn't crazy to where it's unpredictable. It's just point and shoot. Throw it straight at where you want it to go, and it will go there. I throw this disc a lot. I throw buzzes a lot. This disc is actually pretty new to the bag, which I like to rotate buzzes out pretty frequently because when buzzes start to turn on me, especially forehand, I then start not wanting to rely on it. I like them to just fly straight, even with a little bit of fade if I can get it. I tried the Wasp out, and the Wasp had the flight that I like, but I just didn't like the feel of it, so I've always come back to the Buzz. Everyone knows the Buzz, so I think it belongs in everyone's bag, especially Discraft players, which this is a Discraft bag. Again, I throw tons of different brands. I throw Discraft. The first brand I ever fell in love with actually was Mint Disc. It's a small brand based in Texas. Absolutely love their plastic. Bobcat is my favorite disc of all time. But um, I also throw MVP, DGA, a few others. You'll see it. If you want to see another video with some of the other bags in them, please let me know. I would love to do that. I'm experimenting with the MVP stuff right now. I really, really like it. But I did just mention the Bobcat, and that makes me want to mention this disc next. This is the Buzz OS. Feels like a buzz, does not fly like a buzz. When I moved over to throwing predominantly discraft, I could not take my Bobcats out of my bag. I had no idea what would replace them, what would fly like them. I tried the Malta first, and I liked the feel of the Malta, but it turns a little bit too much for what I wanted, and I'm looking for something that will push straight and then fade pretty hard. I tried the Drone, which is a little bit too overstable. I tried the Swarm, which I have a Swarm in the bag, but it's more overstable than I'd like. So I just really didn't know what to do about replacing Mint Bobcat. And then I tried out a Buzz OS, which this is a pretty new one. It's kind of beat in, but not too bad. But this disc, I mean, it's amazing. It's my most thrown mid range. You just throw it hard, especially on forehand. You've probably seen me if you watched the video from not last week, but the week before, my first video actually. I threw this disc a ton in the woods. It's just that consistent, throw it straight, get a good fade at the end. This disc is the one that I throw if I'm just a little bit outside of that zone range. So I can't harp on the Buzz OS enough. It's a great disc. I think it belongs in every bag. That's discraft focused. If you want to bag any mid range, I'd say bag the Bobcat, but that's besides the point. And last but not least, in the mid ranges, I already talked about it a little bit, is the Swarm. This is an ESP Swarm. It's the first run. When they came out, I got it immediately because I got the test flights, and I absolutely loved them. Like I said, I was kind of hoping this would be a Bobcat replacement, but it's just a little bit too stable for what I want it to be, or at least for what I want it to replace. But it has a place in my bag as kind of how I talked about with the Buzz OS being a longer zone. This is a longer zone OS. If I have something I need to reach if I put a little flex on it and come out of it, if I need to get 300 to 330 and just throw this thing on a hard flex line, it will come straight out of it and give good results usually. I love this disc. It's a beautiful disc, probably one of the most pretty in my bag with the ESP swirls. But yeah, I think this is a fantastic disc. All right, moving on to the fairways. I've got 4 of them. Same thing with the putters and the mid ranges that are down here in the main compartment of the bag. I've got a flippy, a straight, an overstable, and a really overstable option. I just kind of like to have progressions lined up for each disc. I feel like it makes the most sense for me. And just to get started, we've got the Heat. But I didn't try the Heat out until very recently. I threw the Avenger SS a lot as my flippy option, and it flew great. I loved it, but there was a little bit of sharpness on the edge, and when I would throw it on forehand, it would scrape, and it would dry up my fingers, rip them up, and it was just I didn't really find myself throwing it very much, even when I needed to throw it. But then my friend actually gave me this Heat, and I've loved it. I don't throw flippy discs very often, but I like to have at least one of each archetype in my bag just in case I need it. If I'm throwing a roller, this is the disc I'm throwing. This is a great disc for rollers. It is not super beat in, but you can see it's got some scuffs on it and stuff like that, so it's well worn. But this is the disc that I'm either throwing rollers with, or if I need to get out of jail, like low swinging hyzer shot that'll pop up and ride for a little bit before turning. This is a great turnover disc for that. And if I for some reason need to throw it backhand, I can throw it pretty nose down and on a hyzer angle, and it will go real far. I love this disc. Again, I don't throw it that often, but it definitely has a place in the bag. Next up, a lot of you know this disc. This is a 2022 Ledgestone Big Z Passion. As Ezra Aderhold and Aaron Gossage and all of those guys used to say, it's always a passion. Foundation guys especially say that too. This is, I mean, one of the, if not the straightest flying disc out of the box in disc golf history. This thing flies wonderfully. I like throwing it on those straight, I mean, just very low ceiling shots with a touch of hyzer. It will pop up and ride straight for miles. I absolutely love this disc. If I had to make a perfect bag, basically, because again, you know, I have the split bags between brands. If I was merging all of my bags together, this disc would stay as that straight fairway option. It flies beautifully. I absolutely love it. And I highly recommend anyone needing that straight fairway option to check out a Passion. They're great. All right, another staple in every Discraft player's bag is the Raptor. I have a Z Raptor that is not super old. I've had it in the bag for maybe a year. So it's getting beat in just a little bit, but not too bad. It's still, I mean, what you expect from a Raptor. You throw it, pushes straight for a little bit, pretty consistent fade at the end. It's like I've talked about with the different archetypes of discs. This is just the fairway zone. And last but not least, in the fairways, we have the Captain's Raptor. Y'all know what this disc does. This disc is a meat hook. You throw this thing, and there's actually a clip of Ezra Aderhold saying, this is the disc you pick up when you want something to go 300 feet and just die. And that's exactly right. This disc will go 300 feet and just die, depending on your arrow speed, of course. You can put this thing on a crazy anhyzer line and it will always come out. I mean, I throw it for skip shots, all sorts of stuff. This disc is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it, and I throw it all the time. And last but not least, we have everyone's favorite, the drivers. I broke my rule like I've been talking about. I have 5 drivers in this bag, and there's a reason why. First off, let's start off with the Scorch. The Scorch is a weird disc for me. There are so many times that I love throwing it, but there are also so many times that I should throw it and I don't because I'm scared of it. I'm still trying to learn this disc. This one's pretty new to my bag. It's got one little chunk out of it down here from when I hit something, but for the most part, it's pretty new. Flies true to a Scorch. Tons of glide, but it has that very consistent turn and then just a little bit of fade back. I like it. I'm still trying to figure out how I like to throw it because part of me wants it to be a roller disc, but I feel like it's too domey and it grabs wind, and it's just a little bit too inconsistent for me with that, and the heat already does such a great job of being a roller disc. So this one is still a work in progress for me. I'm still trying to learn it, but I do like it for what it does, and when I do throw it, usually does pretty good results. Just still trying to learn it. All right, this is a prototype of the Page Pierce Drive. The numbers 11.5, -1.2, and I feel like it flies extremely true to those numbers. I mean, it just flies so far with so little effort. If I really get on top of this disc, I can probably throw it 360, 370. I used to push 400, but I don't play as much anymore. But besides that, I mean, this disc is amazing. Anyone who is trying to figure out distance drivers, I would highly recommend this disc because it is pretty forgiving for it to still be consistently overstable. Like the Scorch, I'd say, is a very beginner-friendly distance driver because you can throw it on that hyzer like most people naturally release on, and it will pop up and just go. So I'd say the Scorch is a very good beginner disc. This one, if you are actually getting your arm up to distance driver speed, um, this is a great disc to try. Again, this is the prototype. I actually haven't thrown one of the new ones, but I've heard they're great. But yeah, this is the prototype one, so highly recommend the drive. All right, this is the most well-known distance driver in Discraft's lineup, I think, and that would be the Nuke. Again, I watch a lot of Ezra and Aaron. Used to watch a lot of Brody when he was still posting a lot. He's getting back into it, but this Nuke, I mean, everyone knows what the Nuke does. It is one of the fastest flying discs out there on the market. I mean, it just goes. It really does. This one is the Paige Pierce 5x one. It is a little beat in, so I actually get a little bit of turn out of this one. I forget the weight on it. It's not lightweight, but it's lighter. It's like 170 maybe. So this disc I'll get a little bit of turn out of, and then some fade. This is kind of like it's weird to have a step up from the driver I just talked about, but this disc kind of does that. The 10 and 11 speeds, I guess, are kind of control drivers to me, and I guess that's how you could differentiate it. But this disc, I mean, just flies super far. I've had it in the bag for a long time, and yeah, everyone knows the Nuke so much that this is the only reason I have 5 distance drivers instead of 4, like I was talking about having 4 of each of the archetypes. This is the 2025 Tour Series Ezra Aderhold Nuke. This one is actually overstable. It's got a good dome to it. I don't know if you can tell from there, but I mean, this thing, I'll throw it flat, it will go straight, and then it'll fade consistently. This is my distance driver. Zone, Raptor, Buzz OS, all those that I've talked about that I like throwing the best, this is that disc for me. This one's also pretty new, so it doesn't have a whole lot of wear on it yet, so maybe it'll beat in and replace that one that I just talked about, but who knows. I love this disc, and I think while the Nuke doesn't belong in every person's bag, it is, as someone who loves forehanding and these wide rims for distance drivers, I think those type of people really love the Nuke. And then last but not least in the bag, we have the step up from the Nuke, and that's the Nuke OS. This is my, like I've talked about, my Zone OS, my Swarm, my Captain's Raptor. This is the distance driver of all of that. The numbers are 13404. Stupid overstable disc. But this one is actually Z Light, so it's 162 grams, so lightweight. And it actually, when I throw this thing hard on forehand, it will actually turn just a little bit before then having the consistent Nuke OS fade, and I absolutely love this disc. I've never found a Nuke OS that would turn a little bit unless it was super beat in, or it was like the baseline plastic, or the jawbreaker plastic. I love this disc, and I wish I got to throw it more. There's not a ton of courses around here that allow for me to throw this. Like I've said in previous videos, I move in 2 months, so who knows, maybe I'll get to throw this disc a little bit more when I try out some new courses. Yeah, this disc is great. Just stupid overstable, as all Nuke OSs should be. Alright, so that's it. That's my in the bag for the 2026 season, at least for the first bit of it. Like I said, I have a few other bags. This is just the main one that I use right now. So if you're interested in seeing what's in the other bags, then please let me know. Or if there's any challenges you can think of with having multiple bags. You can do a bag challenge, just anything like that, bag swapping myself, whatever. Just let me know. And if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. You're at the end of it now. So with all that being said, I will see y'all later, and y'all have a good one.